Hey from Sandhillbilly Ranch, I'm Eve, and this is my Thursday thought. Communication is key here on the ranch. And if you go back and you've seen my Thursday thought about writing it in the book, this is a continuation of that. I want to talk about how we log our feed rations here on the ranch and how we keep track of things. So I'm going to give you an idea of where I keep things in my office as well as where we keep things in the tractors so that we can keep our organization running smoothly as it may be, so that we know what we're supposed to be feeding and when we're supposed to be feeding it. And it just kind of keeps us all on the same level. So let's go ahead and look at how my office is set up, and then we'll go out and we'll look in the tractors, and then we'll round this all off with the end when I get back to the house. So come on, tag along with me. This is the Sandhillbilly Ranch reference library. On this shelf you'll find all of the binders of any of the information for things that we're currently doing on the ranch or things that maybe I've thought about doing in the past and just never actually got it done. Goats being one of those. As you can see, that's in great big letters, and my husband will probably never allow goats on this place. So anyway, but one of the things that I do keep on this shelf is my cattle nutrition binder. And in this binder you will find all kinds of information as far as nutritional needs for all the animals here on the place, mostly our cattle. And so what I try to keep in this binder is any information as far as feed testing that we've done. So these would be from our labs. And then I also keep all of the ration sheets, and these are all of the rations that we've ever fed cattle. I always try to keep on hand so when we get ready to start feeding the next year, we can go back and look at those and compare where we fed last year to what we want to feed this year. And we get a separate ration sheet for calves and cows depending on how we want to set those up, and then we also have individual ration sheets for the different stages that our cows are in as far as pre and postpartum. So this is kind of a rundown of where the ration sheets are. Then there'll also be a copy of the current ration sheet in the loader tractor that we're loading with when we load our rations. Another item that I like to keep in this binder is, this is just a simple weights and measurement table. It's kind of the cheat sheet. And then behind that I keep all of our feed labels. So like if we have, let me find them, I don't have my pages indexed, but I try to keep track of any feed labels of anything that we've ever fed here on the place. So we have that as a record while we're feeding it, as well as we can go back and look through it and see what we maybe have fed in the past and where those items were purchased from. And I've done a pretty good job of keeping those records. Sometimes I get lazy with my record keeping, and that's probably to my own detriment. But for the most part, I really try to keep a good record of what it's costing and where we got those items from. So this kind of gives a rundown on the nutrition book that's here in the house, and we'll get a look at how we do things out in the tractor. Okay, this is where we keep our ration sheets in our loader tractor. And we also keep a calculator because I can't do math in my head when I'm loading. But right now on the main sheet is our calf grower ration sheet, and then there's a little sheet to the side there that you can see under the green clip that has our cow and heifer ration. And it's what the nutritionist put together for us, but it's just written on a simple piece of paper because it's just hay, silage, and distillers. And then the heifers are getting hay, silage, distillers, and a distiller balancer pellet to go with their ration. So then we'll move on over to our loader tractor, our feed wagon tractor. Here's the sheet that has the corn and balancer pellet amounts on it for both the calves and the heifers. And we have it in the feed wagon tractor because we load from the bin with this tractor and we don't use the loader tractor. One of the other things that we keep in this tractor is the little fat notebook that actually has what we have recorded for the day that was fed. And it's a little book, it's about 10 years old, and we just have it sectioned off, calves, heifers, and cows, what we're feeding, and how much everybody gets each day and what was fed. And then we also put down, and you can see right here, our next day. Next to my thumb here, you can see what is already on the wagon. And we're doing that because we're loading a double load. So the reason that we load double loads is because the mixer wagon just seems to work a lot better if it's got a fuller load on it. And right now we're just not feeding enough in an individual load for it to mix as well as it should. So it's helpful to have in that book how much is left on the scale, because if I come back here to the scale, I'll see if I can get back here, it'll zero out, and I don't have anything running so you can't see it, but when you start the tractor back up again, then it zeroes out. And so it's great to know what's on the wagon when you get ready to start the next day. For one, I would never remember each day when it comes time to feed. So it just keeps things more accurate to be able to have that in the book, so that you know, especially if I'm not the guy that's going to feed the next day. That helps Jess out so he knows how much is on the wagon. And sometimes the boy even feeds, so he'll know how much should be on that wagon. So I hope this was helpful for you. Let's head back into my office. That's going to pretty much sum up how we log and track our feed rations here on the ranch. And why don't you leave me a comment and let me know how you track your feed rations and what you're feeding your animals. Is it through just a simple notebook on the dash of your tractor, or are you actually using some form of software? I'd be really interested to know how others are tracking their rationing and keeping track of that, what they're feeding their animals on their place. And if you haven't, subscribe to the channel, because we're looking forward to 2019 with lots of information for you, and I'd really hate for you to miss out on something that might be coming in the future. And if you're just new to the channel and you haven't had a chance yet, go back and look at some of our other videos, and then leave us a comment and let us know what you think of the channel, or maybe give us an idea of what you'd like to see from us in the future. So once again, I thank you for tagging along. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. And that's my Thursday Thought.